RawTake, everyone, the lifeline to your unfiltered media experience. I'm your host, Gion Thomas, and before we get into the show, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We need Senate Democrats and Republicans to pass Bill H.R. 1. This bill is being called the Bill for the People because it expands voter rights. It helps everyday average people have a say-so in democracy. It does such a plethora of things. We could be here all day going through it. So I'm going to just take a little bit of time to go through some of the things that it does. Some of the things it does is it restores voting rights to felons after they get done with their probation. That is amazing. So after you get done with your time, after you get done with your probation, you've served your time, it gives you will automatically enrolled to vote. And not only that, once you turn 18, you're automatically enrolled to vote. So it prohibits that gigantic gap that we have here in America because we have so many young people who aren't registered to vote. So once you turn 18, you're automatically registered to vote. And the thing is, when this bill went through the House, no Republican voted on it and one Democrat voted against it. How can you vote against something that expands voter rights and does so much more? Another thing that it does is it incentivizes small dollar donations. It incentivizes people, the average day people, to give their money, and it almost triples and doubles. It kind of stops these candidates from having to go to these businesses and these corporations and doing these backdoor deals to try and get this money so they can get elected and run. It just expands upon your dollar going into the system, and it makes it worth so much more. So now they have to fight for your dollar instead of fighting for a corporation's dollar. This bill does so much. This is a non-bipartisan bill. We need both sides to come together and vote on this. It gets rid of the dark money aspect in politics. It has campaign finance reform. Candidates have to disclose where they're getting a lot of this money. People do not understand. One of the biggest issues we have here in America is campaign finance reform, is the dark money in politics. A 2014 Princeton study showed that America's run more like an oligarchy, meaning that a small group of people with money control the whole entire system. That is exactly what America is. That's Jeff Bezos, that's Mark Zuckerberg, and the guy from Twitter. Just the tech companies, just looking at it from the tech company standpoint. This bill will put a damper on things like that. So this bill is a no-brainer. Everybody needs to call their representative because the Republicans are already saying that they don't want this bill, which this bill is needed. This is a bill that is needed to get to put power back into the people. But the Republicans are afraid because what's also attached to this bill is all the expansion of voting rights and having people automatically being registered to vote. The Republicans don't want more people voting because the more people vote, they'll probably vote blue. As long as the Democrats do for the people and help the people out, then they'll constantly win because that's what people look to government for. They look to government for help. So the Republicans are already trying to stop this. Like I said, in the House of Representatives, 0 Republicans voted on this. 0. And 1 Democrat voted against it. That is asinine. How are you going to be against expanding voter rights? I know why you're against it, but that goes against everything our democracy holds. You're trying to silence people. I don't understand Republicans. Y'all just leave people out to hang and dry, and then you wonder why it's so hard for y'all. The only time Republicans win is when the Democrats drop the ball. That's the only time Republicans win. And with this bill, this lets people have a lot more say-so into their democracy. It's very much needed. It's paramount that we get this. And so they're already saying they're going to use the filibuster to fight against this, meaning the Democrats now need to have 60 votes in order to get this passed. just shows the lengths they will go to try and stop people from participating in democracy because they know what this leads to. They already saw in the last election how they lost Georgia. They are in fear of losing Texas, especially since Greg Abbott has been dropping the ball, since Ted Cruz have been dropping the ball. That's what the Republicans are looking further down the line. They're like, wow, if this bill gets passed, they get more people to vote, we could lose Texas. They are afraid of losing everything because they don't have anything to vote on, to go on. And so that's why we need anyone watching this video, share this video out to everyone. Tell them to contact their representative. Find out who your representative is. We're going to put that information in the description so you can click the link, find out who your representative is, and tell them to vote yes on this, because we're going to wind up needing 60 votes unless the Democrats get rid of the filibuster, and then all we need is 51. But I don't really suggest that. I don't think we should get rid of the filibuster. Maybe, I don't know. That's another conversation for another time. I don't know. You want to shoot yourself in the foot right now. You just don't want to do that. So we definitely need to contact our representatives and tell them that we need this passed, that we want this passed. This is a no-brainer. So everybody, this is a collective issue. Everybody needs to call their representative and tell them, if you don't vote yes on this, we're going to vote you out. You're not trying to expand voting rights. You're not trying to get dark money out of politics. You're not trying to stop these corporations and the 1% from having such a large say-so in our democracy. Then you need to vote. You need to vote yes on this bill. It's plain and simple. This bill is going to help the people. It's going to get... People don't understand how, to me, in my perspective, money in politics is the biggest issue that we face, because the average middle-class person doesn't have the kind of money corporations have. And then they can create these disinformation campaigns. They can run ads on top of ads on top of ads. It's just crazy how much influence and how much you can do with that money. Everybody know money makes the world go round. And so with the middle class and the poor not having that much money, especially compared to the 1% in corporations, this is a bill that we definitely need. And people need to contact their representatives so we can get this passed. It's a no-brainer. If you don't get this passed, if the Democrats don't fight for this is asinine if they don't fight for this. They need to fight for this. They need to help the people. They've already bent the knee on the survival checks, on the stimulus checks. I don't understand how you bend the knee on the stimulus checks, but you can't bend the knee on this. This is expanding democracy, something that's greatly needed in this country. It needs more young people. More young people need to have a say-so. It's what's needed. It's what our founding fathers wanted. So that's what we need to do. We need to contact your representative and tell them to vote yes on Bill H.R. 1. Go to the phones, bug them. Bug the hell out of them, guys. Because that's the only way we're going to get some real change in here, is if they hear from us, because at the end of the day, it counts on votes. At the end of the day, it's all about the votes. You can have a whole bunch of money, and it does help, but at the end of the day, it's all about the votes. And so they have to listen to us. And if they don't listen to us, then we're voting them out. That needs to be our motto. You don't listen to us, you're out of office. That's what we need to do. So guys, that's our show. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any uploads. Also, you can find us anywhere where you listen to podcasts. Thank you for watching.